So in part one, we talked about posture in sprinting. Part two, we talked about the arm mechanics. Part three, which can be the most difficult for young athletes to grasp and understand, but it is doable, is leg cycling, proper leg cycling in acceleration and during top end speed running mechanics. So when we talk about that, obviously when we're sprinting, we're only on one leg at all times, right? So this leg that's on the ground is putting considerable amount of force into the ground, and that leg that just finished its stride has to learn how to recover, cycle, and get ready for the next plant stride. So when teaching this, obviously there's plenty of mechanics to break down, but you don't want to overwhelm the athlete, so we got to break it up into segments, so to speak. So a good one we like to do is what we call the high knee butt kicks. So the problem with the way we were all taught how to do butt kicks when we were younger is everybody hears butt kicks, they go, okay, we're gonna do this, okay? But if you're sprinting and you're butt kicking, you're doing yourself a disservice, and it could be a recipe for disaster. It'll slow you down and you could hurt yourself. So when we talk about butt kicks, I'm gonna have Brandon step up. So we talked about in the wall drill how we want the ankle to be dorsiflexed, and for that reason is because it's going to help with your next cycle of the leg. So we do high knee butt kicks a lot here, so I'm going to have Brandon show us what that looks like. Okay. All right. Notice how Brandon's heel is not striking the back of his foot. His heel is under his hamstring and his toes are pointed up the whole time, and that's going to help him cycle to the next one. So let's actually travel a little bit. Go in motion. That's how he's sweeping his leg in front, heels under the hamstring, and he's not kicking back. Okay. So this one you might have to spend a considerable amount of time. I've had young athletes in the past who have had difficulty grasping that movement. So remember to always be careful of progressing too soon. If they're struggling with something like this, you wouldn't be helping them by advancing the exercise. So, however, if you like what you see and you want to move on, bring them over to the wall. And this is another way we can sort of teach how we want the legs to look. So we want that nice, we talked about this in posture, that straight line, the power line from the shoulder to the heel. Core is braced, so firing here. All right, we don't want that arch back here. Okay, so I would say bring your heels a little closer to the ground. Okay, and let's have one leg straight up. I'm gonna have you switch for me. So, when we talk about cycling of the leg, we want the toes up, okay? And then when he brings that leg down, we're going down and back up, okay? So, with the butt kicks, if he was doing that, it would look something like this, okay? And we don't want that, we run, all right? We want that leg to hit and then quickly pop back up versus that. That's what a butt kick that we were taught in gym class would be doing. So now we talked about acceleration cycling of the leg. Now let's get into more top end speed cycling of the leg. So talked about with top end speed, we're more vertical. I'll be relaxed. So we're more vertical when we're in top end speed. Acceleration is when we get going, we're in a good 45-degree lean, and then next thing you know, you've covered some ground, you look more vertical, okay? So the leg action might be a little bit different, but the same kind of heel under hamstring and cycle rule applies. So a good one I like to do is going up to the wall on the side. So I'll have over here. Okay. So what I'm going to tell Brandon to do, he's stable at his pelvis, chest region, stable at the pelvis. That inside leg, I want you to go heel under hamstring, and I want you to just kind of swipe the ground and recover. Good. Notice how when he's doing that, once again, he's not kicking back too much. We want that knee to be in a position where it can cycle and get ready for the next stride. All right. Next, we're going to go in motion a little bit. So I'll do this one. Once you like what you see out of your athlete and they can start moving, you can just add a little bit of a jog. Swipe. Back and switch legs. So there you have it about the basics of leg cycling without getting into too much detail. Hopefully that all made sense.